Hello and welcome to another fantastic edition of the Pants Free Podcast. Pants never required. Here now is your host, Polonius Francine Marconi, and his podcast compadre, Nick Miles.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Pants Free Podcast. I am Polonius Francine Marconi, along with my podcast compadre, Nick. Wait, what? I'm sorry, Nick is not able to be here again today.
I killed him.
Sierra Cake, my girlfriend, is filling in once again because on such short notice, she is the person I can go to every time.
Good thing I am here all the time.
Have you been poisoning Nick slowly so he can't make it to the podcast? What's going on?
Yes, I'm trying to take over the whole entire podcast world.
Oh, wow.
One podcast at a time.
Normally, Sierra Cake is on Me Plus Cake podcast, our couples podcast, weekly with me here. But Nick, I don't know, like he has been on the road. I find it kind of curious that Nick is not able to be with me 2 weeks in a row.
Nicholas.
What's going on? So I issue a challenge to those of you who know Nick or perhaps know how to find Nick on the internet. It's at Nick J. Miles, NIKJMILES on Twitter. Maybe he should have to... what should be like the code word that Nick should have to text me to make sure that he's actually listening to the podcast?
I don't know, but he never responded to the tangerines rumor, so...
Right! You're right. He didn't last week, right?
He did not.
Well, failure number one. How about a failure number two? What do we got to lose? You know what I mean? Our last podcast, there was a code word for people to figure out. Maybe this one is,
Codswallop.
Codswallop?
Isn't that an English saying?
I don't know. I've never heard it before.
Confirm or deny, Nicholas?
Is codswallop a English term or not? Nick, if you text me or tweet me, at Pants Free Pod or at Marconi Baloney on my personal Twitter, let us know. Is codswallop an actual English phrase? We don't know.
No, we don't.
We're clearly not English. God. Sierra Cake is barely American.
Not even. I'm not American.
You've been in America 4 months now. How is it going so far?
Pretty swell.
Sierra Cake has been in America 4 months, and she's filled in for Nick at least 4 times.
No, I think this is only the 3rd time.
Well, either way, it's a sad state.
Nick, I don't want this responsibility, this torture.
Yeah,
he's holding a gun to my
one
my
podcast
head right
for Sierra is enough.
Yes,
that's what she's trying to tell you. I don't know. And another thing is like torturous going out with me is I've been trying to reduce. Like Betty Draper in season 5 of Mad Men.
Yep.
I was going to say Men Without Hats.
That's weird.
Anyway, but Betty Draper, got a little heavier. But I'll admit, losing weight, I lost like half of my body weight in like a year and a half.
Yep.
And so, you move to a new place, you kind of have different surroundings, and you slip on some exercising, and before you know it, you need to lose weight again.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been using this Lose It app. And I think I'm driving Sierra crazy with it.
Well, no.
Only because you're nice and Canadian. That's why.
Just wait. Give me another 4 months in America, and I'll be the biggest biatch you'll ever see.
Oh, great. I'm glad that we're moving in together. We have
500 pounds heavier. Ew.
500 pounds of gravy. So, I don't know. I count every calorie that I eat.
Every single one.
Yeah, but it's helping. I've lost like 15, almost 20 pounds.
Does air have calories?
It does, in fact.
Oh,
So I don't know, but it's annoying. But if you're trying to reduce, like I am, do some exercise and get the Lose It app, and just kind of like get yourself a calorie budget is basically what I have.
It's not even like being on a diet.
It's not like when have I had anything that you've been like, oh God, he's really on a diet? Not at all, right?
No,
not really.
Nope.
Because even if I have something, I just know, okay, I have less of it.
Yep.
So you just
work out more.
Yeah, work out more, have less of this. Like if we had pizza the other day, I just made sure that I compensated it by having a salad later.
Girlfriend workouts.
Girlfriend workouts. Oh, yeah. Those count too, right?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Get yourself a girlfriend.
Girlfriend attention workouts.
And the Lose It app, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
These are all kinds of things you don't get to hear when Nick is on the podcast. But, Sierra has been here for a while, and I hope, are you enjoying your stay in America so far?
So far, yes. I do miss Canada, though.
Oh, gosh, it's only been 4 months. Jesus.
But there are things that I miss about it.
Like?
The drivers are not as English.
Oh, whatever. That's not like a solid thing. So you'd go back to Canada just to get away from the drivers here?
No, I just...
if you had to pick one thing, aside from, of course, your family and friends, about Canada that would absolutely, you would say, give it all up, and we'd move back. I would move with you to Canada for, what would it be? Just
honestly, the peacefulness that I feel there. I feel on edge here sometimes. That's complete
explain.
Honesty. Well, just you hear some things on the news about the States sometimes, and I don't want to say anything that's going to offend anybody, but sometimes I just feel a little bit edgy. We'll be driving to go get frozen yogurt or something, and we go past a road that says, what was it the other day? It was Gun Range Road?
Gun Club Road.
Gun Club Road. That makes me feel a little bit uneasy.
It is weird.
And there's just a sense, and when we go to Canada, you'll get it. There's just a sense of everybody's really, there's bad people everywhere in the world, and Canada, especially where I'm from, is actually one of the most dangerous places in Canada. But
you feel more peaceful there than anywhere.
I do, honestly, and
But that's also a comfort thing. You've lived there your whole life.
And it is a comfort thing, but there's just the essence of Canada is when you get there is everybody is so much more relaxed. Nobody gets offended over the littlest things. We're pretty relaxed people, so I miss that a little bit.
All right. Well, so Sierra, how long do you think you'll be in America then?
For however long you're here, baby.
See, that's the right answer. Congratulations, you win. Judges, tell them what she's won. Oh, nothing.
Oh, as long as I have you, I have everything.
Your prize is you get to keep co-hosting this podcast whenever Nick is gone. Yay!
Well, see you later.
Our fine sponsor, Dave's Killer Bread, is always delicious no matter what you're doing. Just the other night, we had one of my favorite things for dinner, grilled cheese with Dave's Killer Bread, and I'm not plugging Safeway, but they have the best tomato basil cream soup.
It is pretty effing delicious.
And it goes perfect with Dave's Killer Bread and some Tillamook cheese. Yeah, and so we enjoyed that the other night. And it's funny because I've had grilled cheese, and it's sometimes oh yeah, we'll have grilled cheese, that's good, but somehow with Dave's Killer Bread it just makes it so much better.
Yes, it really does. It cooks perfectly in the pan, and it just
yeah. So
I've done a lot of slurping in this podcast. What a tasty podcast this is.
Whatever you're having for dinner or lunch or whenever you have bread, toast. I have toast every morning for breakfast with my eggs. And Dave's Killer Bread is perfect in any form. By itself, with all kinds of ingredients added, toasted, untoasted, whatever. Just try it, Dave's Killer Bread for yourself. Dave'sKillerBread.com. Just say no
to bread on drugs.
And now it's time for Pants Free News.
Well, here comes the time. It's my favorite part of the podcast because Nick usually brings out the top stories of the week, but he's not here. So, Sierra, you're going to help me out with it, right?
I'm not as good as Nick with the deliverance of the news, but I try.
Yeah, but you know what? Because you haven't recently been on an airplane, right?
No.
And you're not English, right?
No.
You might be perfect.
Sweet.
Oh, wait. That sounded like I was being mean to Nick.
Oh, poor Nick.
But go ahead. Here we go. Now, this week in Pants Free News.
Did you hear the tragic tale, rumor, possibility that Justin Bieber might play the next Robin? Ben Affleck as Batman and Justin frickin' Bieber as Robin?
Okay, well, it was a nice franchise while it lasted.
Oh, my God. What are they doing?
Yeah.
I bet you that's just a rumor, though.
Is it just a joke to get his attention?
I don't know, but that's gross.
Is Ben Affleck not really the Batman, then?
No, he is.
I can't watch it. So, do you want to go see the movie?
I would watch it just to see how he plays Batman.
Okay, now is this in the upcoming Superman versus Batman?
I have no idea, but you know what? What if Ben Affleck is actually really good as Batman? I feel like everybody's so quick to be like, it's Geely's fault. I know it.
I'll watch it on rental. I'll rent it and watch it then. I don't need to go to see it in the theater.
Or we'll let everybody see it on opening night, and then we'll
watch the tweets.
Yes. And if it's good tweets, maybe we'll go see it. And if it's bad tweets, we'll avoid it like the frickin' plague.
All right. Well, if people listen to the Pants Free podcast, let us know if you see it before we do. We'll remind you. I just can't.
When the time comes.
I just can't see myself enjoying any of that.
Is it released next summer? Or is it a couple years from now?
It's like the impending doom. Like now it's like a countdown to the end of the world.
It is. Yeah, it's like the new 2012.
Oh, yeah, like the millennium. Y2K of Batman or something.
I don't even remember what Y2K was.
Because you were like, what? Never mind.
I know exactly how old I was, though.
Me too.
It's the news.
Also, the tragic and horrifying tale that Miley Cyrus and her fiancé Liam Hemsworth have broken up.
Yeah, I don't get... First of all, like, I know that you are from a generation that knows Miley Cyrus as Hannah Montana and probably watched some of her shows.
No, actually never.
But
Miley Cyrus is past my generation.
But you have seen her as Hannah Montana.
Yeah, but I've never seen her show. But
I think the disgust with Miley Cyrus is 99% the people that saw her as Hannah Montana and now she's just doing her own thing. And like when Lady Gaga does weird stuff, nobody cares. But because Miley Cyrus used to be this wholesome, family entertainer, and now she's just doing her thing as an adult, people freak out. And I think the people that are annoyed by it are almost as annoying or more annoying than they are annoyed by Miley Cyrus.
I see how it is. My disgust for Miley Cyrus is 50% tongue flapping and 50% twerking.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, at least you know your percentages. You've got those down.
I can make 100, yes. Don't ask me any other number because I'll probably mess it up.
You'll screw up the percentages?
Probably. The new iOS 7 update was released yesterday.
How many apps did you have to delete to upload this thing?
Like at least 5, and pictures and videos and...
It takes 3 whole gigs of space just for the iOS alone.
I mean, it's a really cool update. There's a lot of things that I like about it.
The apps look better. They run smoother.
Yep. The iTunes radio is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's so many things about it that I think are great, and I don't want to nitpick apart, but I guess I have to, because iOS 7, whenever Apple comes out with a new iOS, everybody's like, oh, the update, and we were both waiting for it on the edge of our seat. We're waiting at midnight. We're like, oh, it's not ready yet.
Checking it. Yeah.
I woke up and I'm like, oh, it's not ready yet. And by about noon, it was ready, and that's when we could start downloading it. So. And then it took 2 hours just to get it.
It does, and my iPhone is the 4S, and it only has 16 gigs of memory.
Yeah.
And so it was really slow. It's a really slow phone now as it is, and I'm just so over it. I can't wait to get it.
And you already have, so you deleted all the apps, and I deleted a lot of apps too. And I don't like that. I like to just have... So and I looked at I don't use this app. I don't use this app.
Yeah, mine was apps that I only had 20 apps on my phone. So now I have 15. It's a little bit ridiculous. I want the gold iPhone 5S.
Is that a hint that you're telling me in public so I make sure I get it? Or
Yes, please. Thanks, babe.
You can dream, Canadian girl. You can dream.
Oh.
So I don't know. The iOS I think is great, but there are a few things. Siri is better, but it uses Bing, which I don't know why it doesn't just use Google. I think it's just because they don't like Google. Apple and Google don't seem to ever be able to get to completely along.
They clash with each other.
But it only affects us. It doesn't affect them. It affects us.
It's the battle of the ego is what it is, I think.
Because we want to use Google stuff with iPhone, but Google and iPhone don't want to be together.
Because Google has its own phone.
Yeah, and a lot of people have switched over that. They've said, hey, screw you, Apple, we're going to Google Phone. And I don't know. I don't think I want to stay with Apple, but some of the things that are annoying about the new iOS, and I found them with only a few hours of just kind of like playing around with it. Siri, for instance, at first we couldn't find, on my phone, I couldn't find iTunes because I wanted to listen to iTunes Radio.
They took away this, when you flick all the way to the left, you can't find the search there anymore. It's at the top.
So how do? You flick to the top?
Yeah, you scroll it down, and the search is at the top.
And then, so I asked Siri, how can I find iTunes on my phone? And she gave me, like, a reference from...
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's on my phone. Where is it? Just show me. And then another thing was kind of annoying is that I asked for, I don't know, something really simple like, when is the new iPhone 5S or 5C coming out? She gave me, like, here's the definition of phone.
Yeah, something weird like that.
Yeah, and you would think that Apple would at least have programmed in the iPhone 5S will be out on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's available tomorrow, and I don't know, you already tried to order one of them, or you looked at ordering, and it's already sold out?
Yep, they are. The pre-orders, though, those are all sold out. I think once they hit stores, there will be more available.
It'll be cool. I mean, I really think that the new iPhones are cool.
All I know is I'm definitely never getting a 16 gig ever again as long as I live.
iTunes Radio is cool, except for when you get to the point of, on Pandora where you fast forward through a song or you click next and you can only do so many.
Yep, I hate that.
iTunes Radio has that. And I don't know why you would do such a thing to people when we already have Pandora that does that. Like, why not be better and just let us have endless...
It's a copyright thing, though. They wouldn't give all this music away because it's like how you can't skip an advertisement. You can only do so many skips.
Right.
It's because those people who paid to have their songs on there or whatever, they don't want to get skipped all the time, They want to be heard. They want to be heard, too.
But I definitely will use Spotify over iTunes Radio because of those limitations. And they have a $24 a year subscription fee for something. I haven't quite figured that out. But I think that would be actually worth it because I pay about $10 a month for Spotify, but then you can make your own playlist. You don't have to rely on anything. And I can play and listen to those songs over and over and over, and I don't have any skip limitations or anything like that. So I don't know. iTunes Radio seems kind of cool because it does have something like if you want an alternative format, it doesn't play you like 90s grunge. It plays you new alternative music, and then it has classic alternative channels. So that's something that Pandora hasn't had in the past. But I don't know. iTunes Radio kind of has some limitations that are frustrating. The iOS has a few things that I found were a little bit limiting, but it's pretty cool. And the new iPhone 5S and the C seem pretty awesome. So I don't know.
Yep, I'm excited for them.
Yeah, all in all, I would probably give them 4 out of 5 Ninja Stars if I were rating them for Attack of the Apps.
Bologna sandwiches with mayo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hands-free podcast. Please, for the love of God, buy our merchandise. Shirts, mugs, iPhone and iPad cases, stickers, magnets, and so much more. Simply click on the merch link at pantsfreepod.com. Pants never required.
So the final episodes of Breaking Bad are going to be running longer.
Like 75 minutes total, I guess, which is actually more like 45 minutes of actual airtime.
I thought they were 45 minutes.
Yeah, so the show, like if you watch it, like we watch it on iTunes, if you watch the show on like Apple TV or whatever, it's almost an hour already, so I guess it says 45 minutes of actual airtime. I hope that doesn't mean like they're just doing it to squeeze in extra advertising. I mean,
you mean like for the regular folk who watch it on TV?
If you watch it on AMC, I guess maybe you'll be fast forwarding through more commercials. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I could see them doing that.
But I mean, and good for them.
So many people are going to be tuned into it, so why wouldn't they? It's like a Super Bowl.
I mean, if you're AMC, like you're smart to like bank on it while you can, because after Breaking Bad, and then they've got Mad Men at the end of its leg in 2014,
and True Blood.
Well, yeah, but it's not an AMC. I'm talking about AMC running commercials.
Oh.
Way to derail the train.
Sorry.
HBO doesn't need your money.
But most of HBO's really good shows are going to be canceled too. So
Yeah, but HBO is a subscription service. I'm talking about AMC, which is a commercial service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're going to run probably more commercials during Breaking Bad's final 2 episodes than you've ever seen on Breaking Bad. So I don't know. I mean, like, I understand, like, we're in a commercial world and everybody wants to make some money off of whatever, and why not? But at the same time, like, most of us watch it, and I'd rather pay for it on Apple TV.
Then deal with friggin' commercials.
Yeah, I mean, 75 minutes, and only 45 of that is actual show.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's Breaking Bad.
It is breaking real bad.
When news breaks, we're the first there to mock it.
Starbucks is going to seek to keep guns out of its coffee shops.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird thing. They'd prefer, if you have a gun license, legally, that you not wear your gun in its holster when you come into Starbucks.
Who's bringing guns around? I don't understand that. Like,
Well,
I understand, like, having a gun in your home for protection, I guess. I mean, I would never do that, but
people
bringing it around with you wherever
people
you go?
get licensed in America so they can carry their gun in their holster.
Why? What do you need that for?
But that's
You don't
not even.
need that.
I don't even care about that. I really honestly think Starbucks at the bottom line is a coffee shop, and them putting a stand out there. Sometimes it's kind of like the same way of somebody limiting their audience or offending an audience that would otherwise just go in and buy coffee. I don't understand. I guess for them, they feel like their customers are uncomfortable, so like they've had complaints about something, and they're responding in a way that I think most of the people that would probably wear a gun into Starbucks legally are more of the kind of people that you wouldn't mind having a gun on their holster.
but I don't think that they can do that with cops and stuff like that, though.
No, they can't do that with anyone. And here's the thing. They have no legal process to stop serving anyone with a gun. Like, they could refuse to serve people with a gun, I guess, but then wouldn't they just go to, like, Dunkin' Donuts or something? I mean, why do they care? So what I'm saying is it's limiting their I mean, it's not like Starbucks is hurting for customers, but what I'm saying is they can't really do anything about it. So, like, if you're wearing a gun, they're not going to turn you away. They'll still serve you coffee. They're saying they would prefer that you don't wear a gun in there. So why even say that is my question.
I like it. I think good for Starbucks. I think that they keep trying to do the right thing for the people that they want to serve and the people that they want in their coffee shops. Like, for example, the whole thing with the benefits being denied and things like that, and the whole like anti-gay thing that they're against. Like, I good for Starbucks for standing up for what they believe in. And if they lose customers over this thing, then I wouldn't want customers like that in my store if they're going to be like bitches about it.
I think what I'm saying about Starbucks is the same thing that I said about Chick-fil-A. Why do you have to become political and tell us your opinions about everything? You're selling coffee.
I think it's good that they're doing it. I like that. I mean, I don't really find if people are offended over that kind of thing, I don't really get that to me. Like, that's, although I don't come from a place where having guns with you at all times is really legal. Like, we don't do licenses unless you're like a hunter or whatever. So, I mean, that would freak me out if somebody was walking into Starbucks with guns in their holsters, or like, why? You don't need that. Why would you need that? I just don't get that. So,
I think if Starbucks wants to stand either way, they should make a stance and say, we refuse to serve people that are carrying guns into the store, and not be like, well, if you carry a gun, we're going to be okay with that and we're going to serve you anyway, but we prefer it if you don't. What they should say is like, look, we're taking a stance, no guns in our store.
that's true. That's definitely true.
But don't be okay with it if they come in and you'll serve them anyway, because you're just kind of making a statement for no reason.
True. Yeah, that is true.
I'm for people having opinions and all da-da-da, but at the bottom line, like I said, it's a coffee shop.
I'm all for people having opinions as long as they're exactly the same as mine.
Well, there you have it. Another edition of the Pants Free Podcast. Sierra always doing a fantastic job filling in for Nick. Who knows if he'll be back? I think he'll be back next week. Here's the other thing is Nick has gotten to the point where he left he called me today, and my number is forwarded to a voicemail answering service. Didn't leave a message.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so who knows if he'll listen. What was the word he was supposed to say?
Codswallop.
Codswallop. If Nick is listening to these podcasts, he'll say Codswallop, and then he's supposed to mention his love for tangerines.
Truth or rumor?
But he never, he's so busy. I mean, that's the thing with Nick, is he'll tell you that he's busy. Who knows if he's busy or not? He claims that he's in San Diego. He claims that he's in Seattle. He's a jet setter, that kind of thing. I don't even know. He has no proof. Prove it.
Instagram that hoe.
Actually, he does Instagram. But everything he Instagrams is like a showroom of a car. The Ford showroom and it looks just like Anywhere USA.
Right.
It doesn't look like, he doesn't have any like special pictures of him standing in front of the Eiffel Tower or Big Ben or anything.
Well, at least he's passionate about his cars.
That's true. Well, until then, we're here to drive you crazy. Until next time, I am Bologna's Francine Marconi, along with Sierra Cake, who's filling in for Nick J. Miles, saying,
This podcast is 50% twerking and 50% disaster.
Pantalones a libero. Speak for yourself.
Hands-free podcast.